Good afternoon. Hopefully all is well. Welcome to Interesting Talks. Hopefully your glass is half full rather than half empty. Today's talk is an interesting talk. It's about relationships, how we can tell whether people like us or they don't like us. One of the ways I'm going to help us to try to discover that in a more clear way is through body language. Body language, once you start to learn it, kind of like it holds you steady. You can see the truth a lot easier with body language. Now, first thing I'm going to pick up on is when people smile. Now, when we smile, ideally, or a genuine smile, not ideally, comes from the eyes, your frown, your face pulls into different states, and you could more or less generally tell that that person is happy to see you, that they're smiling. But if they just give you a quick smile or like that, or something similar to that, a very tight smile, then the chances are either they could be going through stuff, but if this happens on a regular basis, there's probably a chance that they don't probably like you, and their body language is telling you that. Another thing is when you meet some people, they avoid eye contact. Now this could be because the people are anxious, or they avoid things, or they're frustrated, or they're angry, or they've got something really going on for themselves. But if you always meet these people and they never show you any eye contact, then do consider there's another motive behind it. I'm not saying that they don't like you, but it's something to pick up on. And especially if you see them, they show eye contact with other people and they don't do it with you, or in different circumstances, like if you're in a crowded environment and you see them giving other people eye contact, yet they don't give you any eye contact in these crowded environments, then again, that's a telltale sign that the possibility that they're not that into you. Another one is when people have a flat tone. Yes, no, how are you? And just keep it monotone, a bit like a robotic. And you're coming in with enthusiasm. I don't know. You're talking about something like, you just passed your driving test and you're really happy, and now you can be on the road and drive cars. Oh, well done, well done. Just keep it very, very basic. Again, I've over exaggerated there, but you can pick up when people are just not engaging in your excitement, in your enthusiasm, even if it's something to do with them, not necessarily just about yourself. Other people, they only interact with you when it's necessary. When they need to borrow some money, when they need to borrow a car, when they need some advice on something going on that you might be an expert in, like you might be a plumber and they're asking you, should they get a new boiler, should get the whole house done, what time of year is the best time to do it. They pull on your knowledge, or they only interact with you when it's convenient for them, or when it's really, really, really sort of like important for them to have a conversation with you. They don't see you as a part of their inner circle, or part of their circle, or part of their friendship group, except for when it's necessary for them to ask you for your advice or even some money. Now, another thing happens when people exclude you in a subtle way. It's like you're there's a circle going on, things are happening. There might be a party going on, there might be a christening going on, there might be some kind of event going on, bachelor's night going on, and the guys are all there all talking, or the girls are all there talking, and you just don't get, you never told what's going on. And then people say, oh, we didn't tell you, that kind of like subtle blanks being made to look or feel invisible is also part of what groups can do. And by the way, groups are very, very powerful in building people up and knocking them down. So in these subtle ways, you could feel left out. You could get an idea that, we more tolerate you than actually want you to be around. So that's something else to look at. When people mirror other people's energy. Now, mirroring is like somebody comes in, they're clapping their hands and joking. All of a sudden, you're clapping your hands and joking, and you don't know what the joke is. You're mirroring their behaviour. And the same way that people can mirror your behaviour in a positive way, people can show you that they're not mirroring your behaviour at all. As in, you're coming in with some good vibes, you're talking about something positive, how things are going, interest rates have gone down, cost of living is going well, we're all going to have a bit more money in our pocket. You're happy about that. Who wouldn't be happy about that? But then somebody else who's not in tune with you, who doesn't like you, they will take your mirroring energy and kill it flat dead. Yeah, there won't be no smile from them. They might say, oh yeah, that's nice. Minimalistic. One word answers. they're not engaging with you. They're not mirroring your energy. They're not mirroring you. That's because they're not into you. So that's another thing to pick up on. And then there's other thing what people do is they agree with you in fake ways. Oh yeah. You know, you just make a statement, a simple statement like, yeah, I think it's going to be a very nice autumn, and yeah. I agree with you. Very nice autumn. I reckon it's going to be. I agree with you. Just all fake agreement, fakeness. People coming on with fakeness, pretending that they're agreeing with you, over agreeing with you, over sympathising with your opinions. Not really listening to what you got to say. If you ask them back, what do you think what's your interpretation of what I've just said, they'll probably struggle because they're not paying no attention. They just want to brush you off and show you that they're agreeing with you. So you really that they don't see you as an important person or anything significant could possibly come out of your mouth. Loaded comments. Yeah, I like your shirt. Where did you get it from? Rag and Bone Man. Or, I like your car, but why didn't you get a new one? Or, I like your partner, but don't you think you could do better than that? Or, your children went to university up in Scotland. Mine went to Cambridge. They're paying you a compliment but taking it back, giving you something nice, and all of a sudden studying. And some people are so skillful at this that it will take you some time sometimes to work out that they've attacked you. And you might have to go home and wake up and say, what did they really say? What did they really mean? What was their true intention? It was probably to undermine you. So if you found this talk useful, please leave comments. Tell me how you've discovered how people don't like you and try to annihilate you, and possibly what you've done about it. Hit the share button, share with people that are living in this world that they're not quite sure how to pick a friend. It does take time. Unless you're really lucky, you're just thrown into a group of friends that are really nice, which should just be lucky because it's where you're born, where you live. Everything comes through the relationship, the environment that you're in. You're not likely to make friends with people in Edinburgh if you live in Newcastle, for example, because there's a distance. So it's proximity, how you make friends, and a lot of the time how you come in to have relationships. Except for now we do online dating and stuff like that. But previously, everything was about your proximity. Whoever you went out with, whoever you met, you were usually pretty close to where you lived because you saw them or where you worked. But that's changing quite a lot now. So anyway, do like, share, leave comments on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, or X as they call it now, TikTok, anywhere you see me, even on local neighbourhoods, I'm on there. Leave a comment and see you in 2 weeks' time. Bye for now.